Gabrielle Gonzalez.
And I'm Dahlia Parker, and today's hot topic is cocaine use.
Cocaine, also known as crack, is a powerfully addictive stimulant drug. Continuous use of the drug can have crippling effects on a person's brain, physical appearance, and day-to-day life. It also negatively affects the family system, especially women and adolescents. For women, extended drug use leads to life-altering addiction, criminal involvement including theft and prostitution, and diminished economic and social stability. Above all, it leads to the destruction of child-parent relationships. Cocaine addiction prevents mothers from connecting with their children, which causes children to feel shame, hurt, and abandonment. The disruption of child-parent relationships cause cycles to form in which the children of crack-addicted mothers also use drugs, participate in criminal activities, and make poor life choices later on in life.
Yes, Gabby, those effects can be especially hard to deal with during adolescence. Research shows that 1.6 million adolescents use cocaine on a daily basis. In fact, between 2002 and 2013, an estimated 5.9 million people 12 years of age and older had an experience with cocaine use.
Wow, so many teens, it's unbelievable.
Indeed, but quite true. And adolescents who use cocaine are at a greater risk for developing antisocial personality disorder, major depressive disorder, and post-traumatic stress disorder. They may also have panic attacks, and they are more likely to be diagnosed with anxiety and depression amongst its users.
So what can be said about women and adolescents who don't use drugs but have experienced its effects on their family systems?
That's a really good question, Gabby. For the final portion of our show, I interviewed Sonia Joins, a student here at Penn State Harrisburg, who actually fits the description to better answer that question for us. Let's tune in. Hey, Sonia.
Hello, Dahlia. How are you today?
Fine, thanks. Sonia, thank you so much for sharing your story with us today. For the sake of time, we're going to jump right into the first question. What was it like growing up in a family system affected by cocaine addiction?
Well, Dahlia, it was pretty rough. Both my mother and my father had crack and cocaine addiction, so.
Wow. How did that affect how they raised you?
They were never really around much. And when they were, I was often exposed to things that no child should ever be exposed to. And it was painful. When I was about 5 years old, the state decided that they were no longer fit to raise me. And at that point, I became a part of the foster care system.
Wow, that must have been very tragic for you, Sonia. How does that affect you now?
I mean, I've been through a lot, quite more than we have time to talk about here today, but I choose to rise above that, you know. It wasn't always easy, especially not, in my early teen years. I got in trouble in school a lot for fighting and disrespecting adults. But eventually, I noticed the path I was on and I decided to make some changes.
Wow. And by judging where you are now, I say that was a great decision.
Definitely, definitely. I mean, I'm sure no one ever pictured an angry foster child with 2 crack-addicted parents coming to a school like Penn State Harrisburg and thriving, being on Dean's List, but here I am. One of my mentors said something to me that really affected me. He told me that my situations and circumstances at birth don't have to be my circumstances at death or throughout life, really. It's all about choices. You have to be the change you want to see, even in your family system. I decided to do something different, and for that reason, I was able to break the cycle. I'm starting a new family legacy.
That is truly amazing, Sonia. Your story is a great inspiration.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Cocaine use and addiction is a serious matter. Not only does it affect the neurobiology of a person's brain, which can also lead to the psychological dysfunction, but it also shatters families.
Most research on cocaine use is geared towards men. However, women and adolescents are affected just as much, if not more.
There should be more research available that specifically focuses on these groups so that we as a society can learn how to help them. Having this knowledge will help us reverse the effects of addiction and prevent new cycles from forming.
If you or someone else you know suffers from addiction, it is time to seek help. You don't have to suffer alone. Be the change you want to see, end the cycle today.